centering. As you come to your seat here, let's invite one palm to your heart, one to the ground. And if your fingers don't reach the ground easily, a block is a good option. And if you're comfortable here, you can close your eyes. Just tuning in with an awareness of the way your breath is moving in your body this morning. Just connecting with this constancy of breath in, breath out. And I like to tie this idea of constancy of the breath with the constancy of waves coming in, lapping against a shore. And so as you breathe in, you can picture a little wave coming in. And as you exhale, you can picture that ebb of flow, water drawing back outwards into the ocean. We can begin here to consciously slow the breath, finding a longer inhale, longer exhale. And just beginning to notice here all the ways that your body responds to your breath. You can feel tactily the breath beneath the hand that's on our heart. You might notice a subtle expansion of energy as you breathe in. And a subtle relaxation as you breathe out. And from this lengthened breath at the top of your inhale, begin to take in 3 extra sips of air. So inhale and then breathe in 3 extra short sips of air. And as you exhale, just breathe out 3 extra puffs of air. We'll settle into this breath pattern, breathing in with 3 extra sips of air in. Breathing out with 3 extra puffs of air out. You can stay with this breath cycle, or you could find a pause at the top of your inhale with your breath suspended. Just a moment of pause, and then if you are playing with that kumbhaka or pause between the breath cycles, you can find an equal pause at the bottom of your exhale. We'll take just a few more cycles of this breath, breathing in with 3 extra sips of air and a pause. And breathing out with 3 extra puffs of air and a pause. And after your next exhale, release your palms towards each other. Keep your eyes closed and interlace your hands. And just observe here your breath as it returns to a natural pattern, unforced. And that breath is a good pattern of breath to practice for 10 minutes at a time. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you want to just come back to who you are beneath the chaos that sometimes envelops us. And as your eyes begin to open here, we'll return to this space, placing hands on knees. And if, like me, you have something beneath your seat, you could keep it there. You could take it out of the way, depending on your comfort level. We're going to begin with circles around a hip. So inhaling forward here, exhaling back. So it might feel good to keep that lift beneath your seat, or it might feel like it hampers your movement. So just play here. I'm just finding this movement. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. And the next time you come towards the back arc of your circle, we'll pause and we'll switch our direction, still circling, but now moving in the opposite direction. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. And just feeling into any areas of your spine or your hips or your side body that are feeling tight today. Inviting some space. And not trying to force that space, not trying to force any movement here, just noticing, maybe going a little easier on those areas. Trusting that with our consistent movement and our consistent breath connection, we'll find that space. Begin to bring our bodies back to center. Returning here to our long spine. Let's plant our left hand down on the ground. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Good. Gaze here could be down towards the left hand, could be forward, whatever makes the most sense for you. We're going to inhale, come up tall on your left fingertips, looking down. Exhale, plant your left palm, begin to bend into the elbow. Keep your right hip connected to the ground here. So we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, just arcing towards the left. And if the floor feels too far for you here, you can do the same movement using a block underneath your hand. And so right hip stays plugging down. I'm just using this joining of breath with movement to begin to awaken here your side body. Inhaling nice and tall. Exhaling, finding that little bend into the left elbow. And if you want to combine this with an even more forceful breath, as you bend at your left elbow, you could stick your tongue out and really exhale through the mouth. Almost like a lion's exhale. So we're inhaling nice and tall, exhaling, maybe that lion's breath. It's a good way to release tension that might be built up in our neck area. Good. The next time we take this bend to the left, let's pause here. And again, gaze here might be down, might be forward, might be looking up. If your right shoulder tends towards pain, we're going to keep the right hand in a hip or snake your right hand behind your body towards your sacrum. If your right shoulder feels good here, and this won't hurt your shoulder, let's arc the right arm over our head, stretching towards the left. Keep pressing into your left hand here, pressing your ribs out to the right. Find an easy breath, easy inhale, unencumbered inhale, easy, simple exhale. And next inhale, let's bring our bodies back towards center. Cup a kneecap or a thigh with each hand. Roll your shoulders backwards. Feel length into your spine. Nice, easy breath here. And as we're ready, we'll inhale, stretch your fingers to the sky. Exhale, turn to the right. Take your left hand to your right knee. Right hand comes behind the body. Gaze looking over your right shoulder. And breathing here. Good. Keep your gaze backwards. Take a nice big inhale, lengthen into your spine. As you exhale, just rotate your chin. Keep your hands where they are. Rotate your chin, looking over your left shoulder. And breathing in here. Good. Let's inhale, rotate your gaze backwards. Full exhale here. And next inhale, let's come back to center. Stretch your 10 fingers up to the sky. Draw your palms towards each other, back to heart center, Anjali Mudra here. Let's take a reverse cross of the legs. So opposite leg in front, still staying crossed here if that's comfortable for you. And preparing now to move to our second side. That means right hand is going to plug down into the ground or into a block. Left hand comes to your left hip. And again, gaze here might be up, forward, might be down. Choose what works best, what best releases tension from your neck. And we'll just find that very gentle inhale, nice and tall on your right fingers. Exhale, bending into your right elbow. Inhaling tall. And exhaling to bend. So we could stay here, easy breath, or you could layer on that little lion's breath exhale as you bend downward, maybe sticking your tongue out, breathing out forcefully through your mouth. It's good for releasing tension in your neck, tension in your face. One more press upwards here. And then as we come down this time onto the right-hand side, we'll take those options for deepening the stretch. So option one, of course, is left hand stays in your left hip. Option two is you might invite your left hand backwards, bringing the back of your hand to the small of your back. And option three, if it doesn't cause pain or discomfort in your shoulders, you might just stretch upwards with the left arm, bringing it by the left ear, stretching towards the right. Wherever you are here, coming back to that steady breath, that equal inhale, equal exhale. Good. Next inhale, lift your body up towards center. Settle your hands equally on each of your legs. Lengthen into your spine. Feel your ears here centering over your shoulders. And on an inhale, stretch your fingers upwards. And exhale, we'll twist to the left now. So right hand, left knee, left hand behind your back, gaze over your shoulder. And breathe steadily here. Good. Holding this shape, holding this twist from the shoulders down. Nice big inhale, press up through your crown. And as you exhale, just rotate your gaze, looking over now the right shoulder. Soften your jaw here, maybe even find a light smile. And we'll inhale, bring your gaze back over the left shoulder. Next inhale, let's unwind, coming back to center. Stretch your fingers upward. Join your palms towards each other. Bring your hands to heart, Anjali Mudra here. Then we'll just reach forward. So stretching forward over your folded legs. You can grab some blocks here if you'd like that extra lift, or you can bring your hands fully to the ground. Keep both hip points connected down to the ground here. Use your arms to lengthen into your spine. We are going for some sensation, some stretch into the hips here. So if that's where you're feeling this mostly, then that's all right. Keep breathing steady. Good. And on an inhale, let's begin to walk our palms inwards, lift yourself upwards, and we'll bring our bodies to our hands and our knees. Coming to our hands and our knees, gaze down, fingers spread nice and wide here, wrists landing beneath the shoulders. Let's curl your 10 toes under here. Use an inhale, bring your hips up and back, coming into our Adho Mukha Svanasana, nice downward facing dog. Keep your hips stretching up and back here. Use your palms as points to stretch away from. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, lower both knees down to the ground. Use your inhale, gaze up, heart shines forward. Exhale, gaze down, hips up and back. Good, nice inhale here. Stretch both hip points back. Exhale, lower both knees down. Inhale, find that cow pose. Nice broad back, lifted gaze. And exhale, coming back to our downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So just taking some really slow, really conscious dynamic movement here, moving from our downward dog to our cow pose and back. Next exhale, both knees lower. Inhale, shining your heart forward, lifting your gaze up. And then exhale, back to our downward dog. We'll do one more round of this. Full breath here in your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then we'll all meet back in that downward dog. Take some nice deep breathing here. Give yourself permission to be wiggly. We really haven't done a whole lot to wake up the big muscles in the backs of your legs, so chances are they're going to be tight. I know mine are always tight first thing in the morning, and that is essentially what time it is if you're watching this later. And let's gently begin to work our knees back down to the ground. And from our knees down, we're going to move into our yogic squat, our malasana. So with our knees down, let's bring one foot next to our right hand, and we'll bring the opposite foot next to our left hand. Always the option to settle a block or 2 blocks underneath your seat here. Fingertips can stay down if you'd like that extra support, or we could bring our palms towards each other, a heart center here. Breathing into, again, this deeper compression, deeper stretch into the hips. Nice inhale, nice exhale. Good. Next exhale, see if you can soften just a little bit more. Release some gripping in the hips area. Nice inhale here. Exhale, if your hands aren't already there, bring your palms down to the ground. Straighten into your legs here. Heel toe your feet towards each other, moving towards our Uttanasana. Good, bend into your knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders onto your back, then rise up here. Coming to our standing. Good. Nice big inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, join your palms together, Anjali Mudra. Nice inhale here. Reach your fingertips nice and high. Maybe lift your gaze up. Exhale, hold this shape. Snuggle your shoulders away from your ears. Peel your thumbs towards that wall behind you. Extend outwards through your 10 fingers. Plug your shoulder blades in. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other onto your back body. Nice big inhale here, lifting in your heart. Then exhale, bring your palms together. A big burst of energy into the heart center. Release your hands, give the shoulders a nice little roll. And if you're not already, let's come to standing facing the front line of your yoga mat. Good, let's find that Urdhva Hastasana. Reach your fingertips up and back. Big inhale. Exhale, draw your palms towards each other. Bring your spine straight. Fix your gaze on a non-moving point. Invite your right knee up towards your chest, and now balancing standing on your left foot. Big inhale. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Plug your right heel down, setting up for a warrior one feet. Good, give yourself time to find a steady foundation here. If you feel shaky, separate your feet laterally. Take up that space side to side on your yoga mat. Use an inhale, stretch your fingers up to the sky. And then exhale, feel your shoulders here snuggling away from the ears. Thumbs keep moving towards the wall behind you. If our shoulders are tight, find a nice open arm, so bending elbows out to the side. Find here a steadiness of breath as we breathe into our Virabhadrasana one. The next exhale, draw your palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Spin your back heel away from the ground, coming up onto your back toes. Fix your gaze again on that non-moving point. Good. What we're going to do, so picture it first before we do it, is we're going to inhale, back foot. We're going to cross ankle over ankle. So the soles of both feet are going to come to the ground. And we'll end with 2 straight legs. Okay, so picture it first. It's okay if we find ourselves a little wiggly. Inhale, step it forward. Back foot comes forward, crosses over that front ankle. Yep, soles of both feet down, hands still heart center. Nice inhale here, stretch your fingertips to the sky. Good, legs are straight as you exhale, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Take a hold of your left wrist with your right fingertips. Arc your body towards the left, gaze here forward, lifted, or down. Breathing into the side stretch, and because we've played a little bit with our foundation, crossing at the ankles, we might be a little wiggly in our balance here, and that's normal. Breathing here. Nice. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. Release your hands back to heart center. Uncross your legs. Good. Settle your palms by your side here. Take an inhale, sweep your fingers up, lift your gaze. Big, nice, open heart, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands come towards each other, heart center. Fix your gaze, looking here for steadiness without that we can invite inwards with our breath. With your gaze fixed, use an inhale, bringing now the left knee up, standing on your strong right side. Good, next exhale, bend into your right knee, sweep that left foot backwards, plug your heel down. Find your foundation before we bring the arms upwards. So use that drishti, that non-moving point, to find a steadiness, but also use physics, right? So separate your feet laterally if you feel a little shaky, if you feel like you're on a balance beam. In our warrior, we have front leg bent, back leg strong and straight, back heel down. Inhale as you're ready, arms up. Or find that V shape, maybe hinging at the elbows, create some space if your shoulders need it. And then always this invitation back to this constant breath in, breath out. Next exhale, join your palms towards each other. Free your back heel, spin the toes facing forward. And again, we'll picture this before it happens. So picture the smooth transition, back leg coming forward, crossing ankle over ankle, nestling both soles of your feet down. And as you're ready, we'll take the action. Inhale, sweep those left toes forward, cross at the ankles. Good, straight legs, feet pressing into the ground here. And then inhale, fingertips lifting upwards, shoulders softening away from your ears. Good, we'll take a hold of the opposite wrist now, tilting towards the right, gaze lifted, straight ahead or lowered here. Embracing the unsteadiness that might accompany this shape. And even if our bodies might be unsteady, seeking that steadiness of the breath. Smooth inhale and smooth exhale. Good, on an inhale, let's come back nice, strong and straight. Release your wrists from each other, bring your palms to your heart and uncross your ankles here. And let's release, hands come down by your side, separate your feet slightly wider than your hips and find a gentle side to side movement here. Good, let's come back to stillness, back to center. Let's come and face the long side of your yoga mat. So if you're not already, turn so that you're facing the long side of your mat. You're going to set yourself more or less in the center of your yoga mat. Hands begin on your hips. Heels are going to separate away from each other. And let's rotate. Right toes face the short line of your mat. Left toes stay facing that long side of your mat. Bring your gaze over your right knee, looking towards your right toe. We'll just begin to bend and straighten into that right knee. So coming into our warrior two foundation here. And with our gaze down towards the right big toe, what we're looking for is we don't want our knee knocking inwards over that toe. We're going to keep that knee in a nice straight line with the hip. Weight here is centered in your heels. The next time you bend into your right knee, let's free the fingertips. Stretch your fingertips away from each other, palms shine down. Draw your shoulder blades in towards each other. Gaze now lifts coming to the right fingertips. Find your steady breath here. Next inhale, rotate your right palm to face the sky. Next inhale, sweep your right palm up and over, left palm lowers down the left leg. Gaze could be lifted to the sky or lowered down towards the outer edge of your left foot, breathing deeply here. Coming to our exalted warrior. And let's inhale, bring it back to center, back to our warrior two. Bring both palms to your hips, straighten into your right leg. Rotate the right toes to face forward. Left toes now rotate to face the left side of your mat. Drop your gaze to your left big toe. And just find that simple in and out, bending and straightening into your left knee. Next time you're bending into your left knee, we'll pause here. Bending into the left knee, maybe separate now your fingertips away from each other. Reach outwards through your 10 fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your gaze over the left fingers. Find a softening here into your jaw. Maybe even find a light smile. As we come back to this steady, constant breath here in your second warrior pose. The next inhale, rotate front palm upwards. And next inhale, we'll exalt your warrior on this side, reaching left fingertips back, right hand down your right leg, gaze lifted or lowered. And we'll inhale, returning Virabhadrasana 2, arms parallel to the floor. Bring your palms to your hips, straighten into both legs. Rotate your 10 toes towards center. Step or hop your feet together here. Nice big inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your palms towards each other, Anjali Mudra. Good, settle your hands onto your hips. Come back to the short side of your yoga mat, but I'd like you to face the long side of your yoga mat. So you're looking inwards, not outwards into the yoga mat. Good, so here we will take our right foot forward. Right foot's gonna come forward. Left foot is gonna stay down. And very much what we're looking at is very much like our warrior feet, right? So right foot forward, left foot back. Hands here on the hips. The difference with our warrior two, right, and that's what we're coming to is warrior two, is that front knee is bent in warrior two. Here, both legs are straight. Good, so take care of the hands. Reach your palms away from each other. Palms of your hands shine in the same direction as your hips. Right, so right legs forward, left toes are facing the long side of the mat. Now draw your fingers in, thumbs pointing upwards. Good, bring your hands towards each other. So thumbs are gonna come towards each other. Looking now over that right thumb, you're gonna draw the left thumb back towards your ear. Good, bend into your right knee, release the left fingers as if you're releasing a bow and an arrow. This is your archer's pose. So you're gonna straighten into that right leg, curl your left fingers in, bring the thumbs together. Exhale, bend into the right knee, pull the left thumb back towards your ear, and then release that arrow. And so it's inhale, draw the thumbs together. Exhale, coming here, releasing that arrow. This is a good intention setting pose. So as you keep your gaze fixed in that right thumb, you might picture a goal that you've been working towards, something you'd like to bring into your life. Just envision that each arrow you shoot is helping make that goal a reality. And the next time you bend into your right knee with that left thumb by your ear, we'll pause here, breathing here. Big inhale. Exhale, straighten into your right leg. Release both hands down by your side. Rotate the 10 toes forward. And we'll come back to that short line of your yoga mat, looking forward, looking inwards towards the yoga mat. Good. Find your Tadasana. Find your mountain pose here. Palms shine forward. Eyes closed. Come into this steadiness of the present moment. The steadiness of 2 feet grounding down. Find lengthening up towards the sky, crown of your head lifting up, coming into your body's ideal alignment. And as you're ready, we will open the eyes, send both hands to your hips. Step now your left toes forward, right toes are going to face the right side of your yoga mat. Good. So again, very much like our warrior 2, just starting with legs straight here. Separate your palms away from each other. Keep the palms shining towards the long side of your yoga mat. Fold your fingers in so that both thumbs are looking up to the sky. Good, and then we'll rotate. Gaze comes towards the left thumb. Bring the right thumb towards the left. Draw your right thumb back towards your ear. Bend into your left knee. Release your arrow here. And just let yourself come into this dynamic pose, moving with your breath. Inhaling thumbs towards each other. Exhaling, coming into that drawn and shot arrow, reaching towards your goal. And the next time we come into that full archers with your thumb by your ear, we'll pause here. And inhale, straighten into that left leg. Bring both hands to your hips. Rotate your 10 toes towards center, and we'll bring your feet towards each other. Good, and we'll come here, facing the long side of your mat. Let's send your hands to your hips. Separate your heels away from each other. Do an imaginary little hula hoop here. We'll pause and then switch that hula hoop, moving in both directions. Good, releasing here, coming to a stillness. If you're working with blocks today, I'm gonna say take your blocks, set one on each short side of your yoga mat. And again, we're facing the long side of your yoga mat right now. Bring your hands to your hips, separate your heels away from each other. Rotate your right toes to the right side of your mat. Keep your left toes pointing forward, setting up for a triangle pose here. Now, if you tend towards instability or discomfort in your sacrum or low back, one shift you can take is take these left toes and slide them forward. So the feet are going to be asymmetric here. That will protect your low back. So if you go into this and you feel a pinching or discomfort there, maybe just come out and take that little adjustment, left foot off center. That will bring you into greater comfort. Let's begin with both hands on our hips. Good, and even though we're coming into these asymmetric poses where our feet are reaching away from each other, we still want our weight equally distributed, pouring through both heels. Press down through your heels, lengthen up through your crown. Rotate your gaze over your right shoulder. Extend your right arm long, this time palm facing the sky. Nice big inhale, reach up through your crown. Keep the right leg straight, and then exhale, hinge over that long leg. Let your hand reach down now for that weighting block. You can draw your block inward to the inner edge of your right foot. And just as we've been offering all class, gaze here could be down, could be forward, could be looking up. Bring awareness now to the left shoulder. So roll your left shoulder open. Invite the back shoulder blades to move lightly towards the wall behind you. Release your left hand from your hip, stretch that arm forward, palm down, and then plug the arm into the left shoulder socket. Inhale, stretch those left fingertips up to the sky, coming here into your triangle pose, Trikonasana. Good. Press the heels away from each other. Use an inhale, lift your torso upward. Settle both hands onto your hips. Rotate all 10 toes towards center. If that right block is really close by, just scoot it out of the way. Make sure your left block is easily reachable as we prepare for our second side Trikonasana. And so now right toes face the long side of your yoga mat. Left toes rotate outwards. Right hand stays plugged into your right hip. Extend your left arm forward, rotate your palm upwards. Take an inhale here, gaze on your left palm, stretch up through the roof of your mouth. Exhale, lengthen your torso long over that long left leg, and then reach down, reach for that weighting block. Blocks can be at any height. You don't need a block here. So if you don't have one, you can certainly reach down. If your hand doesn't reach the ground, settle a hand onto your leg. That's helpful. Roll your right shoulder open. Yeah, point your right elbow towards the wall behind you. And then it's not a big movement here, just a really light movement. Lean the back of your head back. Yeah. Release your right hand from your hip. Stretch that palm down, fingertips forward. Good. Plug your arm more deeply into the shoulder socket and then open here. Right fingertips reaching up. Gaze up, forward, or down. Breathing here into our triangle pose. Good. Next, inhale. Press your heels away from each other. Lift your torso upwards. Rotate your 10 toes to face that long line of your yoga mat and step or hop your feet together. Good. Let's come now to the back short end of your yoga mat, facing forward. Take an inhale here. Stretch all 10 fingers up to the sky. Exhale, pour yourself forward, reach down for your blocks or the ground, coming into our forward fold, Uttanasana. Take a half lift, gaze down, spine long, draw your belly button in, exhale deeper here. Always an option here to bend into our knees. Second option, take your blocks, lift the floor higher to you. Nice deep breaths here in our standing forward fold. So let's begin to peel your gaze forward. Walk your fingertips slightly forward here. Lift your heels away from the ground and bend into your knees. So coming into a different kind of squat, not quite our Yogi Malasana. Good. So option here, fingertips down, that is going to be the steadier option because our heels are lifted. If you choose to bring your palms to heart center, we're playing a little with balance here. So that's our second option is palms to heart center. Gaze then would find a non-moving point on which to focus. Then an exhale, settle your hands to the ground. Release your knees downwards here and then set yourself up so that your feet are coming forward. Both heels forward. Use your hands to draw the flesh away from your sit bones here. Make a stronger connection with the ground. Find a light bend into each knee. Take an inhale, sweep your fingertips upward. Exhale, soften forward, coming into our seated forward fold. Now, if you feel tugging behind your knees, go ahead and bend more deeply into your knees. We want to keep this stretch out of your joints. If your knees feel good here, you can play with how it feels to press your heels forward, straighten into your legs. But again, only as long as you can do that without feeling a pulling or a tugging behind the joint. And whatever shape the outer body is in, find that smoothness of breath here. And on an inhale, let's begin to lift your torso upwards. Keep your left leg long, but bend into your right leg. Walk that right foot out to the right side of your mat. Create a little bit of space. So we did our standing archer's pose. That was our pose with the bow and arrow. And now we're going to play with our seated archer's pose. And the big secret of yoga is most of the seated poses are more challenging, not less challenging than standing. So we're going to play with this with different levels. We'll just kind of see how it feels. So first step would just be lifting the right toes away from the ground, grabbing hold of the outer edge of your right foot. Left hand is going to come onto the left leg for steadiness, or you could plug that left hand into the ground if that makes you feel more steady. So we're holding onto the right foot. Left hand is long, left leg is long. We're just going to inhale, lift that right heel away from the ground. Nice bend into your right knee. So here's stage one of our seated archer's pose, and you might stay here. If you like to play a little bit with pulling your arrow, we're going to do that by bending and straightening, not straightening, but just bending into that right knee, finding some movement into the right hip. So here's stage two of our seated archer pose. Good. Now, if this feels good, the full archer's pose is we're actually taking those left fingers and we're reaching for the left toes. So we could kind of come there, reaching for the left toes, bending more and more into this right knee. And then our full seated archer's pose, we're going to bring this right toe back towards our right ear, and we're just leaning forward, stretching for the left toes. And if we're here, we're not really going to be in too much movement. We'll hold this dynamically. So wherever you are, keep breathing steadily. And let's exhale, releasing both feet. Release that right foot down. Release your hand from your left foot. Come back to both legs nice and long. Take an inhale here. Stretch your fingertips up, find a healthy bend into both knees. Then exhale, come into your Paschimottanasana, that seated forward fold. Again, bend as much into your knees as you need to here. Let your gaze soften inward, chin drawing inwards here. And just seeking a steady breath. Good. And on an inhale, we'll begin to walk the hands inwards, lift your torso upwards, preparing now for our second side of our seated archer pose. So this time, right leg stays long, left leg bends inwards, walk your left foot just slightly outwards from your left hip. It doesn't have to come fully to the left side of your mat. Reach your right hand down, lift your left toes upwards, and just pick your heel up here. Good. So we could stay here. This might be our stopping point. And if this is your stopping point, just breathe here. If you'd like to go a little further, play with how it feels to lean that left heel forward and backwards. We can see there's a lot that needs to stretch, a lot that needs to open as we come into this shape. And so we might stay here, right hand on the right leg, or you might play with how it feels to reach forward, grabbing for your right toes. Bringing your left heel back towards the left shoulder. And if you have that shape, let's go ahead, releasing here. Stretch again, both legs nice and long. Take that nice healthy bend into your knees, stretch your fingers upwards, and then soften your body forwards here. And then an inhale, walk your fingertips inwards. Bend into your knees, shift your weight to the center of your mat, and then let yourself come lying down onto your back body. Bring both knees into your chest here. Hug your knees inwards and find some light movement side to side. And the next time your knees drop over to the right, let's take a twist. Let your knees fall to the right. Open your left hand to the left, gaze comes to the left. Breathing here in our reclining twist. And inhale, bring your knees back towards center. Let your exhale take the opposite side of your twist. Knees to the left, right arm reaching out to the right. Gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale here, bring yourself all the way back to center. Squeeze both of your knees inward. And then release both heels down to the ground. Stretch your legs nice and long. Let your hands rest down by your side. If you need extra support underneath your knees, give yourself a pillow or some blocks. Same thing if you need some extra support beneath your head. You might lay a light roll of blanket or towel underneath your neck. Take an inhale here and hold your breath lightly for a moment. Hold your breath. As you exhale, let yourself sigh outwards. Invite your body here to fully relax into the support beneath you. Let yourself slip into a silent and still moment. Silent and still moment, just allowing for these benefits of your practice to sink inward. And bringing your awareness gently back to your breath. Begin to seek some small movements in your fingers and your toes. Your wrists and your ankles. When you're ready, take a nice big full body stretch. And then invite your knees once more towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a little squeeze. We'll rock side to side. And as you're ready, allow your body to rest easy on one side. Press your top hand down to lift your body here to a seat. And then invite your palms together. Your inner gaze towards your heart. And just connect here with the way your breath is moving now through your body. And those little shifts that come with our practice here physically, here energetically, and here in the mind, our thoughts and emotions. And thank yourself for taking this time to connect with your breath and your body. I'm so grateful to share practice with you today.